Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer and today is Monday. I don't know what today is. The 31st? I think today is the 31st. Trying to check my calendar. Today is the 31st. Okay, just go. Today, while you guys are watching this, I have a doctor's appointment, or at least I should be at my doctor's appointment, provided all goes well. I still, we're going to give a little doctor update before my appointment because I do have some information on that. I still don't have a primary care doctor. However, the nurse practitioner that is at the doctor's office that my doctor retired from has agreed to see me because it was time for me to get my A1C checked and it was time for me to get refills on medications and all that good stuff. So I have to go see her today on the 31st, which is in the future where I'm at now because today, what is today? I'm recording this on the 28th. Because life is so full of chaos right now, but it's not a bad chaos. There's just a lot going on. And I have said this in several videos, so if you've missed it, like, it is in the crunch time of back to school. But where we live, for some reason, the school districts in Virginia or around my area, they're like, yeah, we're going to send the kids back to school when it's really hot outside, like at the beginning of August. So back to school is coming for little man. My niece has to go back to college, which I'm very grateful for. And Jujus starts college at the end of August, and it's my birthday, little man's birthday, mine and Mr. Cinnamon's 20th wedding anniversary. It's, we have another concert coming up. I'm going to see Pink and I'm so freaking excited. So there's just a lot of things coming up in the coming weeks, like so much so that I forgot to upload Friday's video, even though I know that I recorded it and edited it, but because like there's also a lot of, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like I'm just so all over the place lately, and it's, we gotta go, and because the dryer blew and because of like other things that keep popping up, there's a lot of just running around. I am I am keeping track of everything, not only in my planner. My planner is like filled to the brim. And then doctor's appointments. Little man had to get his medicine checked, so his doctor's appointment, my doctor's appointments, my blood work appointments. So not only am I using my happy planner, but I have a notebook and I'm making a list and checking it twice like I'm Santa Claus. And so I'm making 2 lists and checking them both multiple times, and I still forgot to upload Friday's video. So I am all over the place, but it's not bad, and I tend to thrive in chaos, so I mean, I'm doing pretty good if I do say so myself. My body is like, no, we're gonna put on a couple pounds, so being under 300 pounds for my birthday I don't think is gonna happen, because now my body has decided to hold on to the weight, which it does when I'm stressed out. My body does all kinds of weird stuff when I'm stressed out, like just all kinds of weird stuff, and I'm not like miserable, unhappy, stressed out. It's just, like I said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I'm about to show you something that I need to work on right quick. I need to fix this. I'll talk to you about it in a minute. Let me fix these 2 little things. So you may have already seen this. My ends are popping out of this, and there's a reason my ends are popping out of this. It's driving me crazy, but I think once I wash this, it won't be a problem anymore. Okay, so I made this on the knitting machine, and oh, health news first, okay? Because I never finished that. I went and got my blood drawn. I got my little pokey bruise right there. And then yesterday morning I got my blood results. Now you guys know, if you have been around here, if you just joined this chaos, I was diagnosed with diabetes in January, and I was devastated by that diagnosis. Now I know that I am morbidly obese. I know that I have other health issues. I have heart disease. I have hypertension, so I'm on medication for my heart. I'm on medication for my blood pressure. I have all kinds of other stomach issues. So just adding diabetes on top of it and knowing what diabetes can do to your body and was already doing to my body was devastating to me. And my blood sugar was really high, and it was so high, in fact, the doctors wanted to possibly put me on an insulin pump, and he threw several prescriptions at me all at once. I was taking my blood sugar 5 times a day. He wanted to hospitalize me. He said, but he was going to trust me to fix things and get my medicine and stop eating sugar and do all this stuff, you know. So he said, but if it don't go down, we're looking at a hospital stay. And during that visit, he also told me that I'm not going to be here in 10 years. Now, I have an 8-year-old son, so that don't work for me. And I might get emotional because it was a traumatic thing to be diagnosed with diabetes. And I know there are a lot of you that have diabetes, and I know that you understand what a struggle it is to maintain, to control, to take care of yourself when you are responsible for taking care of so many other people that rely on you. But I made it a priority. My A1C went from very, very diabetic almost to needing to be in the, well, I probably should have been hospitalized, truth be known. He said he could have hospitalized me how high my sugar was, and now my blood sugar is reading that I am pre-diabetic. A little bit further and I will be in diabetic remission. I haven't talked to anybody yet. This is the numbers. This is how I read the report. This is how we looked up the numbers. So I'm not far away from my goal of being off of the diabetic medication and coming off of some of the blood pressure medicine. I already am off of one of the blood pressure medications. I get a lot of questions like, oh my God, you look so good, you've lost weight, how are you doing it? Well, what I'm doing is hard. It is not easy, and it is not going to be easy for you if you choose to lose weight this way either. But I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it so that I don't die. I am allergic to gluten, and now I'm starting to realize I am also having a sensitivity to any and all grains. So even corn, like corn does not, my body just doesn't like corn. And so anything that is a corn byproduct, my body's like, nope, and it rejects it. And that kind of made the transition to the current diet that I'm following. And it's not a diet. It's just, I know that this works for my body, and that's what I'm doing. It made the transition to this lifestyle easier because I have been off of gluten wheat products for, I want to say 2.5, 3 years now. Because I think I realized I was allergic to gluten during the pandemic or sometime around there. Because I started getting more violent reactions than I've had my whole life. I've always had some of these effects. And the doctors could never figure out what was wrong with me because it didn't occur to them to check for gluten allergies. I'm the one that figured it out. I'm the one that went and told my doctor, I'm like, I don't think I should be eating gluten or wheat. And he's like, why? And I explained everything that I was doing, and I explained to him how I eliminated it from my diet just to see if that's what was causing the problems. Oddly enough, because of Carrie Penny from Happy Crafty Homemaker. She is the one who clued me in. She was talking about some of her own issues with her body, and I won't get into it, but some of the stuff she was explaining, I was like, that's what happens with my body. And then I was like, I wonder, and then I started paying attention to what I was eating and when I was getting the reactions, and then I started to just eliminate that from my diet, and then I started to feel better, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I was doubting myself, like, well, maybe you're a hypochondriac, and maybe you just like imagined these things. And so I tried eating 4 Cheez-It crackers, 4, and I got violently ill after that. And then a couple weeks went by, and I'm like, well, maybe it is all in my head. Maybe that was just a coincidence, and I ate 1 slice of pizza, and I got violently ill for 4 days. And I was like, can't eat gluten anymore. And so because of that, the transition to the current diet, I'll explain to you how I'm eating. It was a little bit easier because that first year going gluten-free was the hardest. It was hard because everything in the supermarket has gluten or wheat or can contain wheat. And I mean, everything in a box or a jar or anything on the shelf. It seemed like And not only that, the gluten-free specific products are 3 times the price in a lot of instances. So it was a hard transition, but I'm kind of glad it happened the way it did, because it made the transition to the way I'm eating now a lot easier. So what am I doing now to lose weight? Well, I'm losing weight I'm not actively trying to lose weight. I love myself as is, and I encourage you to all love your own bodies as is. But if you need to lose weight for health reasons or mobility issues, this is what I'm doing. I am limiting myself to meat products or proteins and vegetables. I will, very rare occasion, like once every couple months, have some fruit of some sort. I don't eat potatoes. I don't eat peas. I don't eat a lot of tomatoes. I don't eat a lot of carrots because all of those are high in sugar. I can't eat onions anyway, but onions have a high sugar count. When me and Mr. Cinnamon were, before we got married, actually no, before Juju was born, we went on the Atkins diet. And the Atkins diet, the first part of the Atkins diet, like the introduction to Atkins diet, you're supposed to do it for 2 weeks and then move on and eat more carbohydrates. They limited you to 20 carbohydrates a day, which is hard to do if you're eating starch products, because I mean, 1 piece of bread will send you over. It's hard to do. But I knew that worked. I lost 60 pounds in 3 months, but I was also 23 years old, 22, no, I was 24, because Juju was born when I was 25. I lost 60 pounds in 3 months. It was like the miracle diet, right? It wasn't easy to sustain because I got pregnant, and it wasn't easy to sustain long term because of so many reasons, right? The price of food, having children, well, just Juju at the time. It wasn't easy to sustain, but I knew that worked, and I knew that diet was strict enough that I knew the rules well enough that I knew that I could kind of lean on that a little bit. I am not recommending the Atkins diet. I'm not recommending any diet to you. I'm telling you, this is what I'm doing. And then fast forward, before I got pregnant with little man, I lost a significant amount of weight once again, which is, I think, how I was able to get pregnant with both those pregnancies, because I am known to have a lot of tumors on my ovaries. I actually lost one of my ovaries, and I lost most of the second ovary because of tumors, which is why Lucas is an absolute miracle that he exists. Because he occurred after the surgery that should have made me go into menopause. But there was one little egg hanging in there. One. Okay, so anyway, I tried, before little man came into the picture, I went on South Beach diet, because South Beach was kind of like Atkins, but it was a little bit different and it was less restrictive. And so I have the knowledge of those 2 diets because I bought the books, I read the books, I researched the diet on what I could do. And now fast forward almost 10 years later, now keto is very popular. Like, everybody's talking about keto this, keto that. I'm not doing any of those diets, but I'm doing all of them, in a sense that I'm taking little bits of it. Like, I know from Atkins and South Beach, I used to carry a book with me that had how many carbs were in vegetables, and I would avoid the high count ones, the carrots, onions, tomatoes, peas, anything that has a high sugar content. I would avoid those, and I still am. I allow myself carrots once in a while. I steer clear of potatoes entirely, because potatoes, my doctor told me 1 potato has the same amount of sugar as a Coca-Cola, which I had no idea. And potatoes are my favorite food in the whole world. Like, if I could live on potatoes, I would. That's the hardest thing to take out of my diet. But I stick to proteins, eggs. I love avocados. I eat avocados every single day. Avocado is my breakfast. So an example of my breakfast, I wake up and I have maybe 2 eggs and an avocado. I mash up the avocado. I put the eggs on top, yolk and all, and I let the yolk run over the avocados and put hot sauce. That's my breakfast. Or I gave you guys a recipe for cucumber salad or avocado salad a couple of days ago or last week or something, I will put eggs on top of that as well. That will be my breakfast. I don't often have lunch because I'm just not hungry. And if I eat lunch, I'm usually not hungry for dinner because one of my diabetes medications actually makes me not hungry. If I'm hungry in the afternoon, I will have a snack. A snack consists of maybe some pork rinds or some cheese, like just a couple little pieces of cheese, or the cheese wisps, which are like cooked cheese till it's crunchy. It's like a cheese cracker, but it's just cheese. And sometimes I will have those with avocado, because like I said, I eat avocado every day. And then dinner, I fix a meat and 2 vegetables. So I will have a portion of meat, and then I will have oftentimes a hot vegetable and then a cold vegetable. Sometimes I have 2 hot vegetables. Sometimes I'll just have a big salad with a little bit of meat in it. That's how I eat. And then I allow myself sugar-free chocolates. I'm not a big sweet eater, so it's not a big deal to me to have that, but like once in a while I like need something sweet. I allow myself Diet Dr. Pepper, strawberry and cream on occasion. I drink a lot of water, and that is what is working for me. Don't do anything based on my advice unless you talk to a medical professional first. And don't trust that my advice is God, because it's not. And I'm just doing what I know works for my body. But my blood sugar has dropped significantly. My cholesterol has dropped. It's still kind of in a high zone, but it has dropped a couple 100 points. So that's good. And I was able to come off of one of my blood pressure medications, and I'm going to talk to the nurse practitioner about coming off a second one because my blood pressure has been dropping down a lot, as has my heart rate. So that is what is going to be discussed today at my doctor's appointment. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to ask this nurse practitioner if I want her to be a long-term medical for me, or if I'm still going to continue to look for a doctor. I guess that will go with, we'll see how that appointment goes. So that is the good news. Everything is looking good, and even though my weight is doing a lot of this because of stress and because of swelling and because of all kinds of reasons, that's just how your body works. I do think when it starts to cool off a little bit, because it was 106 degrees yesterday and it's supposed to be over 100 again today. So depending on when the weather starts to cool down again, I'm going to start walking with Bentley, because I can't take him out there with it being over 100 degrees. I'm not burning his little feet. And I'm not trying to kill myself walking in that heat, because I'm really sensitive to heat. I won't even go out in the pool when it's this hot, because the pool is like bath water at this point, and it's really useless to go out there. But that is my health update for right now. And Mr. Cinnamon called me, and I was in the car, and I talked to him through the stereo because I have Bluetooth connected to the stereo. And I'm talking to him, and he's all, I got your blood results back, you know. And I didn't read the result. He was reading it to me. And so he's all, you're pre-diabetic. And last time I was like borderline diabetic, and now I'm in the pre-diabetes zone. And I'm really frustrated with my weight. I am really frustrated with my weight because I just want to be under 300 pounds. And I'm not eating a lot, and I don't understand why it's not dropping or why it's going up. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And it makes me want to cry. It makes me feel bad about myself. However, when he told me my numbers, and I'm looking at it from the perspective of I'm doing the really hard work and my body is healing, that makes me emotional in a different way, because it's a really big deal what I'm doing. It's hard. So before I completely break down into tears, because I can feel that I'm on the verge of doing that, let's get to the things I have made. Some of the things I'm not going to show you until Thursday, because I've made things specifically for PYOW, which is Thursday, Premier Yarn of the Week. This is just a few things that I've been working on this past week, give or take, you know, in between all the other crap I've been doing. But You may have seen this on my Instagram or my TikTok. If you don't remember, there is a yarn, or if you weren't around back then, there's a yarn company called Koigu. They are in Canada. They make the most gorgeous, let me grab some, hanks of yarn. They're behind you. They make minis and they make 50 gram skeins. I'm just gonna grab a couple because they're on the shelf back here. By the way, what do you think of my Moana dress? It's very light and airy, so it's like, it's hot in the house because it's so hot outside. I'm gonna put the big industrial fans on down here because I need extra circulation. I'm hot. I'm like so hot. Well, anyway, Koigu, this is how it's spelled. They're in Canada. I believe they're in Ontario. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they are in Ontario. I first discovered these yarns at Michigan Fine Yarns in Michigan, in Livonia, Michigan. And I fell in love with the unique colorways, and they were a really good price. So a 50 gram ball was at the time $11.99. I think they have gone up to, they might be $15.99 now. But it's still, it's hand dyed, hand painted. It's actually, I think these are hand painted. Made in Canada, product of Canada. I want to say these are hand painted. They're 100% merino wool. Actually, I paid $13.99 for this one. 100% merino wool, 175 yards, 50 grams. They feel really nice, but they have like this beautiful hand painted. I fell in love with them, and I, up until now, have never worked any of this yarn up, even though I keep buying it because I'm in love with it. I think it's beautiful. So this is the 50 gram balls. These are part of the minis that come in like the pencil box kits or the painter's can. And I just love the colorways. I'm just real honest. I love the colorways. I love color. I love rainbow stuff. These yarns are gorgeous and they feel really nice in the skein. And I have big dreams of making all the things, but for some reason, the poor girl that lives inside me is afraid to use the really good yarn. Oh, hang on. I have a whole cup right here. This is a pencil box kit. I think this was was it? I think this was the pencil box kit. So the pencil box kit, hang on, I have so much to show you. These are not cheap. These are not cheap, okay? I think I paid $70 for this. This is a pencil box kit. It comes with coordinating colors and these cute little minis. And I think these are 20 grams. I think these are 10 grams? Let me see. These are 25 grams. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 250 grams for $80. And sometimes you can find them cheaper than that. And so I have several because like I said, I'm in love with these yarns. And this was part of, I think, the peacock one. I think. But they're saturated. They're so saturated. Anyway, Lucas! Lucas! He's so loud today, like he can't hear himself. And my mom is throwing her voice because my mom used to say that. Can you hear yourself? Can you not hear? Why are you so loud? He's so loud today. Anyway, I follow them on Instagram because they post a lot of deals on their Instagram. And like I said, they are in Canada. You can buy yarns at local yarn shops, mostly in the upper eastern area of the United States. But you can order online. Michigan Fine Yarn sells it online. And Swarin will help you. Like if you email them and you're like, hey, like, can you help me with some colors? She will help you. They're amazing at Michigan Fine Yarns. Or you can contact Koigu. Koigu is like really awesome. As a matter of fact, when I shared this, they shared my little video and I was like, Koigu shared me. I was so excited. Okay, so anyway, they have had a couple of sales that I was really interested in. This was one of them, and it was a bag of, I kid you not, scraps. It was a bag of literal scraps. So what I did is I pieced together 2 magic balls because I bought 2 of the bags of scraps. I think I bought 2. You guys will remember because I make so many videos. I don't remember any more. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what happened. I don't remember yesterday. So this is literal scraps from Koigu of all of the leftovers that they couldn't make a ball out of. So there was pieces left over from the end of the skein of them wrapping it and making 50 gram or 25 gram balls. And I made 2 of these. And I had plans, I'm like, I want to make something. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why don't you just throw that in your knitting machine? So I have, because I get questioned all the time, what knitting machine do you have? I actually have 2 of them. I have the Addi King size Addi Express. This is, I think, 48 or 46. I think it's hang on. How many pins is this? I can never remember. 46. It's 46 pins, okay? Now, you don't have to use worsted weight in that. You can use all kinds of weights in that. Just, you have to be careful. I also have the small one, and I don't know where I put it. It might be in that bucket under there. I also have the small Addi, okay? This was made on the 46 pin one, but because it's a, I think it's a lace weight. I think it's lace weight. It doesn't matter. It comes out much smaller than you think it would. So I could squeeze this over my head and make a hat, but I was like, no, I need to make a scarf. I want to make a multicolored, beautiful scarf. And so because I had already made the cakes, I tied all of the pieces together. So my ties are coming out a little bit because I figured they would stay in. And once I get them weaved in and I wash this, they might actually stay in because wool has a tendency to plump up when you wash it. So I'm relying on that happening. But if it doesn't, I don't care. I don't care. So I'm gonna show you. And I just sealed off the end. So this is an actual tube, so it's double thick. I closed the ends. Now as you can see, these are all the pieces of the scraps. So we have scraps, scraps, scraps. And some of the scraps are real small. Some of the scraps are much bigger. Matter of fact, this is a scrap here. And then this section is a scrap. And then there's another scrap here and here. See all the many different colors? I think this is the prettiest thing. Because it's just, I mean, there's been other people who have made scrap projects out of their expensive wool. Hannah at Cozy Cottage Crochet has a pattern for a, I want to say it's corner to corner, but it's little tiny corner to corners, join as you go quilt, made like out of scraps like this. So this reminds me of her blanket, and it makes me want to make one because her blanket is gorgeous, and I'm in love with it. I will try to remember to link all of these things below, but that's what it reminded me of. And as you could tell, it needs to be washed and like not necessarily blocked, but it won't be as wonky when it's washed. Isn't that just, look at the colors, you guys. It's like a watercolor painting, and you could almost see like right here is like southwest sunset, like New Mexico, Arizona, right here. All that. And then you have this, reminds me of a field of like flowers, right? It was just, it's so pretty. Look at, do you see all the different colorways here? There's like every quarter of an inch is a new colorway. And then obviously there was bigger pieces. Oh, that almost matches my dress right here. And yes, this will be warm because it is a, it's a wool yarn. It will be warm in the winter time, but also when it's just a little tiny chill in the air, this is going to look so beautiful with a really simple t-shirt and a pair of jeans. And I know that my dress is so gaudy and loud that you can't really see, but can you imagine? It's going to be beautiful. So I am in love with that, and I'm actually going to make a second one just so that I can see how beautiful this yarn works up, because it's like magic and it's just beautiful. All right, so I made that, and I made that on the knitting machine. So that actually, this length took me probably over an hour because I was making sure the ends weren't getting caught, because this was already pre-tied. So all the pieces are already tied together. And I think if I were to do this again in the future, I would use a different tie or a different join because I'm really liking the thumb join right now that I learned from MJ's Off the Hook, Michelle. I really like that tie, and I've used it in the projects that I'm about to show you, and it worked out really well. But I'm absolutely, absolutely in love with that. Now, the other things I've made, I've been knitting, and not just like knitting on the knitting machine. I've actually been using my knitting needles. And so this is the one and only crocheted thing that I have to show you out of this selection. Now, Thursday when I show you what else I've made a couple other things with crochet, but it's very heavily knit. And I'm surprised by that because knitting usually takes a lot longer. It does. It's a slower process, and I crochet very fast. You guys know this. Actually, we'll start with this. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need something to work on, something small that I don't really have to think about. I need something, like, what can I do? And I was like, okay, but I'm looking at my cotton yarns. I only have a very small selection of cotton yarns, and I used to have a huge selection, but when I did the mystery boxes recently, I got rid of a lot of the cotton because I was not using it, and it was taking up a lot of space, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna make this many washcloths. And I also have really big skeins of cotton that I got from Premier Yarns a while back for like $5, and they are the big huge skeins, not the cone, but the skeins that they used to make. And so I have cotton, so I got rid of a lot of my cotton yarns. A lot of them. So now I'm limited. I only have maybe 20 skeins of cotton at the most of like this. And actually, I don't even think I have that many. But it's fine because I don't need it. And if I need it, I can order some, right? So anyway, I ordered this when it was, and actually I think this cotton might actually still be on sale. PremierYarns.com, they have had the little balls. Let me see if I have any on hand. They have the little balls of cotton. They were 3 for $5, I think. And yeah, I got some right here. Hang on, let me grab it. 3-pack for $5. I don't know if it's still on sale. I'll check for you guys while I'm talking. These are usually $1.99 a piece, so 3 for $5 was actually a pretty good deal. And I'm checking now to see. Actually, this is bagged. Bag deals. Yeah, these are still on sale, 3 for $5. A bag of 3, $5. And they have all these colors in stock. Okay. They have variegated. They have solids. And then this is like an ombre effect cotton. And as you can see, I used up the Americana colorway because I was just coming off of the high of, you know, oh, 4th of July, I love making Americana stuff. When I just made some, oh, I made those knit hats. Actually, somebody contacted me about the knit hat on the knitting machine that was Americana on one side and camo on the other side. And she's all, I really want the hat. And I was like, all right, well, you can have it. So I sent that off to her. Hopefully she got it by the time this airs. But anyway, I'm like, I love Americana. In case you don't know, I am not political at all. I don't care anything about politics. I just like Americana stuff. I like the color. I love the aesthetic of it. I think because I love summer so much and I equate Americana with summer. And, you know, it's just fun to play with the colors. So I knit a little washcloth. Now, if you know anything about me, I knit unusually. Well, no, I don't. No, wait, I gotta stop saying that. I knit different than a lot of Americans, okay? I knit combination kind of continental / Russian because I knit like I crochet. I hold my yarn like I'm crocheting and I do it all right here. I don't wrap or any of that crap, okay? To me, it makes life easier. Because of that, if I don't grab the yarn the right way, my stitches will twist. And sometimes I twist my purls, sometimes I twist my knit stitches, and it's just, I have to remember, and sometimes I get confused and I will often mess up, and I will show you an example because I know I messed up with this one. Okay, so right here, this is purls. Actually, this is garter stitch, so it's knit, knit, knit both ways. Okay, when it came time to do the knit purl row, I started twisting the stitches. Here's a prime example. Okay, they're supposed to look like V's. And see how this is kind of like, instead of a V like this, it's kind of a twisted V like that. And I have to remember, because if I'm knitting in the round, I have to wrap the yarn. I knit through the back. I knit through the back loop, always. It's faster for me. I purl through the front, knit through the back. And if I grab the yarn and scoop this way, I have to do that when I'm knitting back and forth. But if I'm working in the round, I have to grab the yarn this way and pull down. So I know that's confusing. So either way, I'm like grabbing the yarn this way to pull it through, or I'm grabbing the yarn and pulling it that way. And it will depend on whether my stitches are straight or twisted, depending on if I'm knitting back and forth or if I'm knitting in the round. It does matter. And it matters significantly. Okay. So the fact that most of this is not twisted stitches, they're V's, was kind of impressive to me. And so, and I did a cute little border on it, even though it's still kind of trying to twirl, it's trying to curl. Once it gets washed and dried and stuff, it ain't gonna do that anymore. But the border, when you knit, if you're not a knitter and you don't know, you create the border on it while you're knitting it. You don't add that on later on like you do with crochet. So it's all part of it. You just do a different stitch on the end. And that's what I did. It's just a cute little Americana washcloth. And then when I got done with that, I was like, well, I really need more hand towels, because I told you guys the story about the hand towels, which I haven't even hung these in my bathroom yet, and I really need to. And I designed this style of washcloth or hand towel because I'm tired of sewing buttons on. Okay, and when you do this, you put it through the bar, okay, and then you pull the towel through and it's on the bar, and there's no button needed, and it hangs, okay, and then you can just pull it back out and go about your day. Okay, this was easy. This whole bottom part is basically one of my towel patterns that is a tutorial. I followed exactly the same as I did, except up here I did a foundation single crochet of, I think, 30, and that's it, and I connected it. So I just did I finished off this last row where I thought this was long enough, and then I did foundationless single crochet row all the way around, connected it there. The green one I did differently. I did this one top down. So I did the foundation single crochet row first, and then I did this, and then I chained out, and then I went back, and then I chained out. And so this is a different style. I mean, it's the same idea, but it's just a different style towel. So I was like, I wonder if I can do that with knit. Don't know. Have never tried. I have knit a hand towel before, but it was really small because I'm not real good with sizing when it comes to knitting. Like crochet, I can chain out a section and go, okay, that's 14 inches, whatever, right? But with knitting, because it hangs on your needles differently, and I'm not at all an expert knitter. I will never consider myself an expert knitter. I'm very much beginner knitter. There's a lot I don't know, I've never learned, because it took me so long to figure out how to knit with my brain that knitting still scares the heck out of me. Like, it scares me. It really does. But I'm learning, and that's fine. Like, no, but not everybody has to be an expert. But I'm really proud of this cute little hand towel, okay? So I did the same kind of idea. Now, I knit this bottom up. I knit it way, because this one was originally going to be the hand towel, and I was like, that ain't wide enough. That's going to be a washcloth. So I knit this one way, way larger. I don't remember what I cast on. I don't. I want to say 40. It might have been 50. And then I did purl or garter bottom, and then I did garter along the sides. So I put a stitch marker at 5 stitches on both sides, and on the edges I just knit every row here, whereas to get this you knit one row, purl the next. And it hangs the way I like it to, so it curves around itself. It hangs like my crochet towels. And then on the sides here, I just actually, for these several rows, I just decreased a bunch. So I decreased all the stitches all the way across. So I did knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together. I did that for like 2 or 3 rows until I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches across here. And then I knit back and forth the 7 stitches till I got to here. And then I cast on stitches on this side and I cast on stitches on this side. And I did like 3 or 4 rows here. And then just in the center here, I cast off. And then the very next row, I cast those stitches, well, I cast on a new row of the same amount of stitches I cast off here to have a hole. It's not beautiful. It's not as fancy as that one, but it's still, look at, okay? You put it through the bar, pull the towel through the hole, it hangs on the bar, and towel. And I don't care about this part, but I'm really proud of that because, like I said, I am not real good at knitting. Knitting has always come hard to me, and I think this is a beautiful hand towel, and it's going to go in my upstairs bathroom because that's the bathroom Mr. Cinnamon uses most frequently, and I think he will appreciate the Americana towel, and I really like the way the colors came out. So after that, I showed you guys this in Happy Mail. Matter of fact, I don't know if this video aired yet or not. This video might not have aired yet. Let me check my schedule. Nope. Alright, so tomorrow you're going to see this yarn in Happy Mail, I think. Maybe I did show this. Maybe? Did I show this yarn? Did you guys see this? It's from Mary Maxim. Let me check my schedule. Because honestly, I don't know what the heck I've recorded and what I haven't. I may not have made a video out of this. Okay. This was sent to me and I feel like I did make a video out of this. Whether or not it aired or not, I have no idea. Okay, so I don't know. I was sent a bunch of this Mary Maxim Scrub It yarn in Happy Mail. And I may or may not have showed this in a video. Okay. So one of you lovely people, whose name is escaping me right now because I can't remember whether I aired the video or not, sent me Mary Maxim, and my brain is saying 2 different names. So I'm not going to say the name because I don't want it, because I know that I got Happy Mail from 2 people. And my brain is like, nope. I know that I showed this in a video. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? This yarn is a discontinued yarn for Mary Maxim. It's the Scrubby yarn. It is, I think it's cotton. 100% cotton yarn. It's just cool. It makes really neat washcloths. My niece loves these washcloths more than the regular cotton washcloths because knitting needles on the floor. She said they scrub her face better. She's also a glutton for punishment. Like, she will scrub her skin right off of her. I don't know why. But she likes these washcloths better. And so this yarn has long been discontinued from Mary Maxim. It's hard to find this yarn. So when I got a whole box of it, I was super excited because now I can make more scrubby type washcloths. And unlike some of the other scrubby yarns that are on the market, this is a little bit easier on my hands to work with because it's 100% cotton. It doesn't like irritate me real bad. So I crocheted this one, but I'm going to put a border on this because I like to have a regular cotton border around this yarn. It just makes it look nicer. And so this is one of those that is just, I think this is half double crochets. And it did like this cool effect. And then I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to try that yarn with knitting. And so this is just garter because I can't see the stitches very well. And I'm like, I'm not gonna even mess around. We're just gonna do garter. And garter also has a texture, so it works good with washcloths. So this is just a garter stitch washcloth. And this is the remainder of the ball that I used for this. It's the same yarn. And then I added on the pink because the pink is the same color. So it's just garter and I need to weave in my ends, but the knit ones are not going to get a border because there's really a lot of stretch in the knit ones, and if I add a border on, like a crochet border, it's going to make them too constricted, and I like the floppiness because these are more stiff. These are really good for like peeling the skin off of your face. I mean, they're not that rough. They're not. They are a good washcloth when you have dirty little boys who've been playing in the dirt and you want to get the dirt off. These are really good for that. Okay. These are good for cleaning as well. So that they're good for that. The knit version is more floppy, a lot softer on the skin just because it's not as stiff. It's not as thick. These work better for, you know, more softer skin face things, you know. I don't know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. So I made a knit one, and then I made one out of this colorway as well. And this is just, it's the same yarn, it's just a different colorway. And these work really good for washcloths. They're good washcloths. And what I like about these is because if you guys can see, give my camera a minute. If you can see, it looks more like a washcloth that you buy at the store because it's got the little, you know, the fuzzy bits. And it feels more like a washcloth from the store. Now, I had somebody ask me, she's like, she lives in a different country, I believe somewhere in Europe, I could be wrong. She's like, it's not common for us here to make washcloths. And she thought it was weird. She said, don't you guys have washcloths at the store? Yeah, we have washcloths at the store, and they're really cheap. You can get washcloths at the Dollar Tree. You can get a big pack of like 18 for like $5 at Walmart. You can buy washcloths. I like making washcloths. It's fun, and I prefer my handmade washcloths to store-bought ones. And I know that I have complained about them in the past because Mr. Cinnamon tends to not realize they can go in the washer and dryer, and they end up on the garage floor, which is where my laundry room is. And then eventually he sweeps them up and throws them away, and then we fight about it. We don't fight, but like, I'm like, dude, I worked hard on that washcloth. It took me like 45 minutes to make that washcloth. You just threw it away. Because if you leave it on the floor wet and gross, it gets all crunchy and like, yeah, no, we're throwing it away at that point. So that is an issue in this house. So does it make good logical sense to make them instead of buy them? No. But to me, this is a luxury to have handmade washcloths. It is a gift to myself. I treat myself. I love bath time. As a matter of fact, when we purchased this house, it had to have a bathtub I fit in. We looked at like 12 houses the day we bought this house, and I was like, if it don't have a bathtub I can comfortably fit in and have water over the top of my body, I'm not buying the house. And the real estate agent was like, well, you can always have a bathtub put in. Yeah, but see, that's extra work, and I don't want to do that. I want a house with a bathtub in it. That is my caveat. I will suffer with a tiny kitchen and my laundry room in the garage as long as I have a bathtub, because at the time we were in a very high stress life situation, involving my nieces and my sister and other family members. There was just a lot of stress in my life. And even now, that bathtub time is my solace. And there were very, very difficult years with little man where he didn't sleep for 5 years. The first 5 years of his life, neither one of us slept more than maybe 2-hour stretches. And there was a period where I didn't sleep for 9 days. And I started to have like mental capacity issues at that point. And I told Mr. Cinnamon, I was like, something bad is going to happen if I don't get sleep. Because it was, seriously, it was 9 days I did not sleep. More than like 5-minute stretches because he was not sleeping. And it was really bad. It was really bad. And it has to do with his ADHD and other things that, you know, health issues. And it was just, there was a very bad, hard time in my life. And that bathtub time is vital for me to decompress, for me to breathe. And then after my dad died also, like I would just lay in the bathtub by myself and cry for a good hour. By myself with the water like up around here. Just with my face like almost under the water. I would stare at the ceiling and cry. I need that for my mental health. Like, my bathtub time is very important to me. And so because, and I know you guys see, I buy myself yarn because yarn makes me happy, but it's also part of my job. But I don't really spend money on myself in life. I don't. So I splurge on bath products. This is a treat for me to have these type of washcloths for myself. They're my use only washcloths. I have a little wicker container that holds my pretty washcloths, and I usually do really pretty colors that I love looking at. And then I will like get the washcloth nice and hot and just lay it on my face in the bathtub. I buy bath bombs for myself. I went yesterday to Bath and Body Works and I bought the Halloween soaps, the hand soaps, and I bought Halloween shower gel. I can't use their lotions. I don't know why I can use their hand soaps but not their lotions because of the eczema issues. And I bought myself a couple of smelly things from there. That is my huge splurge on myself. Like, that is my way of giving myself self-love and self-care. And since my niece loves these also, that's my way of giving her a little bit of self-love and self-care for herself, because she's got eczema really bad too. Like, her eczema gets way worse than mine, and she gets it all over her body, whereas mine is primarily on my hands or my feet. She gets patches all over her body. And she also had really, really bad acne in high school, like really bad. And because she was not in my care and I couldn't put her on my health insurance, I couldn't take her to the doctor, couldn't treat her for any of that, and her mom refused. I make sure she, as an adult, has all of the things she needs to take care of her skin, including these really nice washcloths that she enjoys having, and, you know, other products that she needs or likes to have. I make sure that she's taken care of, or that she knows to take care of herself. Because a lot of times she'll be like, okay, Aunt Jenny, I need help. I'm having this issue. And I tell her, well, you need to go to the store and you need to purchase this. And then she does. Or if it gets real bad, I'm like, you need to go to the doctor, go to urgent care, and go get some steroids. And then she does. So I'm trying to teach her self-care too, because she has not been taught that. So that's why I make the washcloths. And I know, like, if that's not familiar in your country and that seems weird to you, I understand that that would seem weird, especially when the cost is way more. Because this Scrubby yarn from Mary Maxim, I actually got it in mystery bags. And then I think it was like $3 or $4 a ball when it was available. So, and it makes one crocheted washcloth and a half of a knit one. You could probably get 2 knit washcloths out of it. Although I don't even know about that, because let me just check my scale. This was a brand new ball. I believe these are, let me check the weight. These are 50-gram balls. The washcloth is 27 grams knit. And there's 18 grams left on the ball, so that wasn't exactly 50, but. And then the crocheted one is 36 grams. So, yeah, you can make 1.5. So yeah, if you're thinking $3 to $4 per washcloth, that is kind of expensive and kind of silly. But to me, it's like you're going to the store and you're buying like yourself a luxury washcloth. Think about it. It's a luxury. Is it necessary? No, but like, should you treat yourself to stuff like that if it makes you happy? Yeah. You should. If you can afford it and it makes you happy, buy the yarn and make yourself a really cute washcloth. To me, you can also buy hand towels at the Dollar Tree. And that is fine, because again, Mr. Cinnamon abuses my hand towels just like he does my washcloths. He will take a hand towel, like if I buy a fancy one, and this really is irritating. If I buy a fancy one that's like $3, $4 from Walmart with the pretty colors on it, he uses it as a pot holder to wipe up spills. And I'm like, It's a hand towel. It's meant to dry your hands. Stop wiping up gross crap with grease stains on. Now you just killed my towel. So, that's another whole issue. I love him, but he just don't get it sometimes. But, you know, I make these really pretty colored ones for myself because that's my luxury. I have so much mess I need to clean up now because all of the things I've been working on is now sitting on my desk, along with the yarn I just showed you that needs to go back on the shelf, and crochet hooks, all the things. Anyway, that is it for today. I hope this is going to be the start of a fantastic week. I hope the doctor has good news for me today, or the nurse practitioner. I hope she has good news for me today. I'm tired of worrying. I worry a lot about my health. I worry about the whole doctor situation, about finding a new doctor, and a lot of other stupid things in regards to my health. So I hope if you pray, or if you think about good energy for me, or anything that you think will help, like, I would really appreciate that today while I'm at the doctor. I'm hoping for more good news other than just the blood readings, and really would like to come off another medication, and I would, you know, I want to find some sort of, I would really like to just have a doctor that I can go to without having to find a new doctor. So I'd really like her to be like, hey, like, yeah, I'll be your doctor. So that I don't have to look for another doctor. Because my doctor, when he retired, he said there's another nurse practitioner in the area, which is over by the college. It's not by my house. And he said, this guy said he will take over my patients, 3 months to see him. So that don't really work. I'm not going to wait on a 3-month waiting list to see a doctor. That I don't like that. Not, especially not with the health issues that I have. You're making me wait 3 months. No. Because some of the medication, and the reason I need to talk to somebody now is I need refills, but also with the blood pressure dropping as low as it is, and my heart rate is dropping a lot, and it's making me feel ill, that is a danger zone. So, like, let's get this taken care of. I need treatment. I need somebody that I can call, you know? So, yeah. Prayers are definitely appreciated. Positive thoughts appreciated. Whatever you believe in. I believe in God, and I'm a Christian, but I believe that everyone's beliefs are valid. And I know that some of you don't agree with that, and that is perfectly fine. But I believe whatever you believe in is valid. It is right for you. And I never ever push my beliefs, because I have no right to push my beliefs on anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I accept and love everybody. I don't care. I don't care. Unless you're a jerk, then go somewhere else. But I love and accept everybody. But I think you guys already know that about me. Anyway, I will let you go, and I will see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? I know that it's Tuesday, but I already have the video uploaded, so I don't know what video is coming up tomorrow. I keep flipping back between July and August. Alright, tomorrow is the Mary Maxim Knit and Crochet Kits. Wednesday, I'm opening my Santa sack that I got. A little disappointed, but I also bought some other yarn that we're going to do an unboxing of both in one episode. Thursday, POW, I'm going to feature some yarn from Premier Yarns. And then Friday, I bought a couple things on Hobby Lobby clearance, and we're going to share that. So, it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. And then leading up past that is like, that's when all the chaos kicks in. So, while you're watching this week's videos, I'm going to be recording next week's videos, because next week is birthdays, anniversaries, back to school shopping, chaos, chaos, chaos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.